Hi, my name is Caleb. I live in Merced, California, and the learning experience that I want to talk about today was when I learned to surf. I learned to surf when I was 25, which is a lot later than most people learn. People who surf usually learn when they're teenagers or even younger. I learned when I was 25 because I grew up in Arizona, where obviously we don't have any ocean or any opportunity to surf. I grew up watching surfing on TV and thinking it was just really cool, but I always thought of it as something other people did, cooler people did, and I would really never have the opportunity to do it. It would have been something like climbing Mount Everest or something, so something almost otherworldly to what I could do. When I was 25, I got a job in California, and one of my coworkers was a really nice guy who was really into surfing, and his brother had a place on the beach, and this guy I worked with wanted me to get into surfing because he wanted someone to drive out there with, and I thought it was fantastic. I could use one of his surfboards. All I had to do was buy a wetsuit, and this was something that I never really thought I'd have the opportunity to do. I was very limited in my thinking back then, and we used to drive out. It was about a 3-hour trip to his brother's place on the beach, and the entire time we talked about surfing. We talked about paddling to catch the wave. We talked about jumping up. We talked about how to maneuver the board once you're on the wave. And the guy that was teaching me this, I thought was just a great guy. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. I really enjoyed stopping and getting meals with him. His brother, who we stayed with when we were on our surfing weekends, was also a really great guy. He really was what you think of when you think of a surfer. He kind of had that surfer drawl. He wore surfer clothes. He was a really fun guy. He had a group of surfer friends, and they really enjoyed taking me under their wing and teaching me different things. We'd all go out together. And for me, like I was saying, it was something that this was like walking on the moon. It was something that I grew up seeing on TV, and now I was actually getting the opportunity to do it. It was so much fun. And then during the week, when we weren't surfing, when I first got this job, when we had breaks in our job, we would talk about it. We would practice jumping up on the board, at work, on the floor at work. And we'd go to lunch together and talk about surfing. We'd talk about surfing destinations we'd like to go. And I think what made it fun for me was doing something I'd always seen on TV, and for whatever reason thinking I'd never get the chance to really do it. And then also spending time with someone I really enjoyed spending time with, hanging out with this coworker. We of course became really good friends. And then also the experience of going to this crash surf house where this guy lived, and hanging out with the surf guys and enjoying that culture. So surfing really kind of consumed my this new job. That's what I did on the weekends. That's what I talked about at the breaks. That's what I talked about at lunch. And I learned very, very quickly. Obviously, when you learn at 25, you're at an extreme disadvantage to people who learn a lot earlier. But that was okay. I never wanted to, ride barrels or do anything crazy.
How long was this learning process?
I did this consistently with my coworker friend for at least a year. And consistently meaning 1 to 2 times a month. Sometimes even 3, perhaps. I think we did it every so often. We'd go every weekend. And we still go. I don't go as much as I used to because I'm now kind of involved in other things. But about a whole year that I went consistently with him, and I felt that I was in the learning process.